we got something to actually talk about this week. It's super exciting, and I'm glad that this happened. And I'm glad we got to talking about it immediately after I hit the start broadcast. But we're live on the Metal Lab this week. I am joined this week by Mr. Mike White.
Hello.
And Jay.
Hi.
All right, we're going to do our usual. We're going to start with our weekend hero clicks. And we actually have news this week, so we don't have to stumble our way through an episode, which is exciting. And we could probably take this news through the rest of the episode, which is exciting stuff. So first things first, Mike, how's your weekend hero clicks been?
It was pretty all right. Again, as everybody knows, really just had the Sunday game as a regular thing. I was able to go to the event this weekend. And what it was a 500-point Golden Age. The restrictions basically were no resources, no feats except for on like pre-carded figures, no BFCs, though I don't even think anybody knows what those things are anymore. So I remember those days.
Tom played Malice against me one time, and I started playing in 2012.
Yeah, ordinary day. Oh, so much fun. And what else was there? No IDs except for headmaster ones. Like no possession. Basically, trying to establish a pretty much bring figures and let's have a more fun, casually kind of event. 500 points, golden. And then it was called Use Your Collection because the idea was that you would bring 3 teams. And round 1, you would, assign 1 to 2, 3 to 4, 5 to 6, roll a d6, and whatever came up, that was the team you were going to play. So my 3 teams for the event were my team 1 to 2 was what was it again? I'm trying to think of which order I did it. So Gotham City Underworld. I did 200-point World's Finest Joker Lex duo because it's just such a great piece, and I wanted to play a bunch of stuff from the new Batman animated set mixed in with that. So I did that. I did the Ventriloquist. I did Clayface. I love that Clayface. I think he's awesome. He's fun. He's so much fun. I did Tidal Harley, 25-point Joker from the Penguin from the Joker's Wild Fast Forces, and 3 suited henchmen to start actually on my team. Oh, and Roland Daggett, which I love playing him. He's actually really great because part of the idea is Joker Lex being able to have the Underworld team ability and be able to carry 2 people who are less points. One of the people they carry around is Roland Daggett. And my hope is that not only Roland Daggett rolls leadership and keeps popping out suited henchmen for mastermind fodder and other fun stuff, but also for the power action to give shape change. So he just keeps giving shape change to Joker Lex. Meanwhile, I leave Harley and Penguin together so that all she does is attack him while she's using Perplex to keep getting those plot point tokens. I think it was like turn 5. I had like 7, some ridiculous number. Oh, wait, actually, it's got to be I start with 2.
Yeah.
Turn 5, I hit 7 because every turn I'm just free attack, and here's a Perplex, here's a plot point token. Anyway, so what was the other figure on the team? No, I think that was everything. It's a kind of a fun team. My second team, my 3 to 4 team, was a Justice League team. I did the Prime Big Barda from Harley Quinn. I did Chase Wonder Woman from Harley Quinn. Super Rare Zatanna from Batman Animated Series. Hawkman Hawkgirl from Batman Animated Series. Chase Adam at full points from Batman Animated Series. And Atomica, because I had 25 more points, and I did a keyword search on the good old HC Realms unit section for Justice League less than 25 points, and I'm like, hey, Atomica, well, I remember her. She's fun. There's some theme probbing fun, CSA fun, and then my other team was actually Sentry 459 at full points at 350. And 2 regular sentries at 75 points. And I started them on the sidestep funky in-cap power line and the plasticity poison starting line. So my first round, I was against. God, who was I against in the first round? I was against Bruce in the first round, and Bruce had an X-Men team. Basically, had Lila. He had Chase Magneto from Uncanny X-Men set. So already, I'm like, so bad.
That's his favorite.
I know. Yeah, I get it. When people have a more limited supply of figures, you're going to lean towards stuff that you like and that's effective and it's going to do well. God, honestly, what else was on his team? Oh, 100-point Beast from Uncanny X-Men. We all know what he does with his wicked outwit power for range. I love that figure. Darwin. My God, there was like Angel, but like the prize Angel, the one with the blue skin, but in the classic Angel outfit.
The one that shuts off
halo. Yeah. I don't know why that choice, but anyway, he was on there. And and Chase Cyclops from Age of Apocalypse. So
he loves that figure too.
Right? So I rolled for the Justice League team, is what team I ended up playing against that team. And oh my God, I can't wait for another 500-point event where I can play this Justice League team because it has so much teeth. Hawkman, Hawkgirl are crazy. Wow, they're such a just insane figure. Like and what's crazy is that charge dial. It's like I don't even look at that dial most of the game. I just look at it when I'm worried that someone's about to KO them, and then I switch to that dial so that when they die, they go onto the really good dial, which is the hypersonic, precision strike, super senses outwit. I had 2 outwits plus Wonder Woman's ability to say you can't use outwit. I had multiple perplexes. I had lots of movement. I had TK. He had the range on me. We ended up on Genosha. I was first player. I picked Genosha because out of the maps I brought, it was one of the ones that had the least amount of blocking terrain.
I'm surprised you didn't grab one from the map box that had literally none.
No one brought out the map box. So.
Oh, okay.
And he was lucky that I didn't bring Crossfire Canyon with me because that's my favorite. I love playing that map against that Magneto and watching people just cry.
Yeah, the last time I played against him, I had there was a Yu-Gi-Oh water map, and he was very sad about it.
Yeah. So, but he decided. So, he decided to move out. I don't know why, because again, he had the range on me. So I had my first turn where I had immunity, so I didn't move. Why am I leaving my starting area when he can reach me right away? And he moved out, to a position where I could actually get Hawkman, Hawkgirl out to make an attack and still move back a couple of squares. I could get both Atomica and Atom within range of both Magneto to outwit his defense power and to be able to use prob when Hawkman, Hawkgirl attacked. I brought Wonder Woman up, so she was in the group of them afterwards. So Beast jumped over. I actually used Hawkman, Hawkgirl. I crippled Magneto right away. He was still alive. I used Hawkman, Hawkgirl's outwit to get rid of Beast's special outwit. He moves his team over, uses Magneto's outwit to get rid of Hawkman, Hawkgirl's outwit to get back Thing. But then he moves within range of Wonder Woman with Beast and can't actually use outwit anymore. And he's like, oh. And then my next turn, I ate all but 2 of his figures. Like, I just ruined the rest of the team on my next turn. Everybody that could attack did. Rolled Justice League Unlimited and took some tokens off. It was, wow. I can't tell you how amazingly effective that team is. Zatanna with her bats is such a threat at 75 points because she's just sidestepping and shooting 6 range, 11 attack, 4 damage. Like, it's crazy. So I won that game. I won that game easy, and I lost nothing. My second game was against Remy, thank you. So horribly bad with names. I apologize to everybody. It's genetic. Trust me.
It's still not as bad as Clancy, but
yeah, right. I get it from my father. I'm telling you, man. I had a dinner with him one night, and I found out how he just can't remember names. We remember numbers really well, so I apologize. His team was, no offense, evil.
No offense, evil.
There were three Wolverines, and that's not like including a sideline. That's just 3 Wolverines, like right away. So it was that Professor X, 50-point super rare Cyclops, Lila, Moira, and the X-23 Wolverine duo.
Haven't seen that one in a long time.
I know, that was so weird in there, but still an effective piece. You know, I rolled. What team do I roll for? My sentries, and he picks the dungeon, the underground cavern there from Star Trek. So, what do you think's going to happen? A lot of hiding behind walls to mind control me, to make shots at me. I actually managed to take, I think, 50 points of his team and actually hurt a bunch of his guys. I pulled off some fun moves with the sentries, but I'll be honest, and we talk about it all the time, practice makes you better with your team. I didn't use this team at all. This is literally like, hey, it's a 500-point build. Oh my God, I'm going to use sentries. So I made mistakes like forgetting to roll the leadership from Sentry 459, which would have been huge for me a lot of different times, because there was one turn where I couldn't use a theme prop because I was double token on my guys. They were colossal stamina. So of course I keep acting and I'm not clearing them, but I totally forgot about the leadership. Anyway, I got owned, completely owned in that game, but I had some fun with those guys. And I would love to play in a bigger point event with them, because that whole free action to just move the sentry 1 square is it's really great. It's really effective. And yes, I agree, Jay. That it's very effective and it works. It works well. My third game was against Glenn, our judge. He actually didn't bring any teams. He wasn't planning on playing. I think he was hoping for an even number. We had an odd number of players, so he stepped in to play so that everybody had games. And what we did was he just would use randomly one of the unused teams that we had between us. Yeah. So he used my Justice League team, and I used my last remaining team, which was the Gotham City Underworld team. And I picked, and I don't even know what set this map is from, and I can't even remember how I got this map. It's the covered bridge. It's like over a bit of water. So it's literally like a covered bridge, because it's a section of indoor terrain over a lower elevation section of water coming between 2 higher elevations. I don't even know what set this map's from. Glenn and I were like, where did this come from? I don't know where it came from, but I have this map. So I thought it'd be a ton of fun, because it creates this whole bottleneck that you have to go through to deal with each other. And that's what happened.
The other side of the Hall of Heroes.
There you go. So our entire teams ended up in this covered bridge section, which was great. It was just, let's just cram ourselves in there. Right away to start, I rolled leadership with both my guys, and so I had 5 suited henchmen on the map right away to start. 3 of which rolled for plasticity poison. So it became a really interesting tie-up map thing. He killed, or I lost 3 suited henchmen in my pursuit of killing Hawkman, Hawkgirl, which I actually did. So I was at 125 points. He had 15 points. We'd taken a bit of time at one point, so we did a sort of a last round thing. I was first player. So it's Glenn's turn, and he's down 110 points. And he's like, well, there's no way I'm going to get those points in one turn. And I'm like, oh, really? Let me show you. So taking the Justice League team that I created for him, he managed to kill Clayface, who was on click 1 at the start of the turn, and killed him in 1 turn. It was pretty epic. It was a whole combination of well-placed movement, outwit from Adam, some good blades hits, object hits. The bats again. Big Barda was at a range. She was in 4 range of Clayface. The bat sidestepped next to her. she blasted him for 6 damage at range. Like, it's a great team. I was amazed at how well it did. And it was really funny to steer my opponent into beating my team on the last turn because he killed 125 points from Clayface or whatever, and he won the game on the last turn. So I went 1-2, but I had so much fun, and I loved getting to play my collection. So it was awesome that we had an event like that where I could use a lot of different figures. And like I said, that Justice League team, wow. I hope there's another 500-point event soon. That's Golden Age, because that team was a lot of fun, very effective. So
yeah, it's always good. I mean, we pretty much only do Golden Age or competitive practice. It's one or the other.
It seems like that. It seems like that right now. So yeah, that one will definitely make another appearance at a 500-point event. It was so much fun.
Yeah, I do like sometimes hitting those events with the bigger point values, the older figures, because sometimes you just have that piece of your collection that you just haven't touched in a while, or things where it's like, you know what? As long as the prize is like a must-have prize, I want to go back in time and just try a figure I haven't tried in a long time. I do like that kind of experience.
Well, I really love both the thematic aspect of it as well as I love pulling up power combinations. Like, that's really what I want to get out of those events. So I want to create a theme team so I can see some of these figures together straight out of the comics. On top of that, I want to pull off their powers together in a way that makes sense, that highlights how they are in the comic. And especially if they have special abilities and they have very situational abilities, it is so much fun when it actually happens that you can pull off the situational thing. It was so sad that our game ended when it did, because the next turn Harley was about to roll for the Harley Pogs, and for fun I just picked up the die and rolled it, and I rolled a 6. Oh. And we would have all been in the bridge together. So all of a sudden there would have been 6 Harleys filling this covered bridge. It would have been just glorious. So anyway, hooray for fun clicks. I love having fun clicks because it reminds me why I started playing. And I think you need to do it to keep your brain fresh too and creative for the meta.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can't tell you how many of my competitive teams started with, hey, let's play a competitive or a casual team. It's a little better than I thought. Let's try again.
In fact, that's my Canada Cup team this year, is because of that. Because of an event we played recently where I chose to play a figure and I wanted to try him out. Not like I didn't think he had power to him, but it was fun. And I'm like, oh, man. This is good. I like this. I'm using this. So, yeah, you never know where inspiration can come from.
All right, Jay, how's your week been?
Non-existent?
Yeah.
Although it did happen that I did a generic article on all the different Creed generics. It was funny. Mike told me that he was going to be running those guys. Other than that, I really wanted to do that Sunday event. Like, I made that event with a bunch of different stuff in mind. Like, I haven't played Spider-Verse in forever. But I would have liked to do that event, but I did not have the chance. I wish I could have made it out for playtesting on Wednesday. Not that I really need to playtest these days, but
well, you know what? You coming out can help people.
Yeah, I was even thinking I should probably bring the Blackbird for playtesting on this coming Wednesday. You never know.
Wow. Yeah, no, you should. And in fact, we would love it too because of judge questions. I mean,
oh yeah,
we have so many rules things coming up all the time. Of course we do, right? When you're practicing like we are, we're having so many different combinations that we're trying out, and we're really trying to push our teams to the limit. And man, this game has become really nuanced with all the extra stuff and the sideboard and oh man, it's pretty crazy. Like, here's a great one that came up recently in ours. Leadership and the whole, so pick a power, and let's say I pick leadership. Well, great. It's going to give me an extra action on my turn. But I can never roll the die for leadership for it because I'm already past the beginning of the turn.
Yeah.
But at the beginning of the next turn, technically, I have leadership at the beginning of that turn.
Well,
so I would think I would get to roll for it. But like you said, and I know there are rulings where you don't.
Yeah, I don't think there's any pick a power now that's not until your next turn. So it expires when your turn has already begun. But now with how leadership works, picking it actually accomplishes something because you get the action immediately. So
Like
leadership is weird.
Yeah, right. Because like my brain would think so. Ace the Bat Hound is a great example. He picks leadership in his turn. You get an extra action on that turn. That's great. Beginning of the next turn, I would think, hey, I can roll leadership for him. He's got leadership at that moment. It's the beginning of my next turn. This is the moment I'm losing it. Much like with the call-ins, right? The call-ins are there, beginning of the turn. So hey, I've got leadership. I can roll for it, and then they disappear.
Yeah, it's a really weird one now. Like if you have a Groot and it critical misses and your leadership is gone. It is a weird state of affairs.
Yeah. So yeah, it's great to have a judge person who knows the rules that well when you're practicing. Damn straight.
Anything else you want to go over for the week, Jade?
Did I do? I think I did my Roll20. No, I did my Roll20 games before the last show. So no, nothing really. I haven't had time to play Roll20 this past week, but I'm looking forward to getting some more in because it's fun. Fantastic. And I actually almost like it more than real HeroClix because you get like the bird's eye view much better, and you can like actually, I feel like, plan strategically and position a little bit better almost. But that's neither here nor there.
I finally got my first test in with the ruler team. It crowds. Oh boy, does it ever crowd the map. I like not only do you run out of starting area, but you run out of area around the starting area very quick with this team, especially if your leadership roles are hot with the Black Panther. There are some twitches I'm going to deal with the team though, because its output is still not where I want it to be, especially when comparing to the monster team, and it is making for unfun games for myself against things like Unimind, etc. So back to the drawing board on a couple things, and I'll explain that on further episodes of Inside of the Minds of Madness, as I've done the 4 episodes. I do want to address something I've kind of addressed on that show, and I just want to remind people when we do something like, hey, tell me about a figure, I don't want your team, I want your figure. Or if I'm going to cover a figure on this show, don't send me a list of a team. It's just another example of we're all HeroClix players. We're very bad at taking instructions. We are the worst when it comes to instructions as far as games are concerned. Anyway, this show has been a ton of fun, and I've really enjoyed the chat response from the show, and the general comments from the show have been quite enjoyable. So I have been enjoying the show, and I'm going to try to keep it going past ROC Canada Cup. But from there, it could turn into a show where half the episode becomes my musings about what I'm doing in my life, because it's, this is what happens when I'm playing HeroClix or when I'm not playing HeroClix, and what my planning stages are going to be. Anyway, it's been a lot of fun. So a lot of my HeroClix has been based around that. And because we tried out the ruler team once again against the team that Amber is trying to run, along with doing some math around some other teams, I've had to kind of step back and go, maybe not. But it could just be some play mistakes I have to go over with the game myself. All right. So that said, we actually have something to walk into as this. There's a news section of the show back again, guys, because oddly enough, there's some news in HeroClix today. What news, you say? Well, Battle World previews are out. Now, one of them we've gone over, but it's worth kind of getting a full go-over with it, because originally we had seen this figure in the map, and we're going to go in rarity order. I want to thank Millennium Games for these previews. It's their preview figures for this month. So away we go, starting with the Spider Island Captain Marvel. She's got the Avengers Battle World Spider Island keyword, along with the Animal, Monster, and Soldier keywords for her generic ones. She's got a trait, Homo Arachnus, which gives her plasticity, poison, and then she's got special defense power, dog fighting, and energy absorption. Energy shield deflection, super senses. When Captain Marvel is hit by or evades a range attack after resolutions, heal her 2 clicks. And then it's a what you see is what you get dial. That defense power is on her last 5 clicks. So for the first 2 clicks, she's got impervious. She starts with Empower, gets some Battle Fury towards the end. She's a very charged, close combat focus, except for right here where we get some range. She's a flyer, 6 range, not indomitable. Avengers team ability, 125 points. Mike, what are your thoughts on Captain Marvel?
Wow. Like, I mean, sure, 125 points sounds like a lot, but she's got solid values, good numbers up top, and that defense power is ridiculous. I mean, you just don't make a ranged attack on her. Why are you making a ranged attack on her? If you're making a ranged attack on her, you better make sure that ranged attack kills her, because she's just going to heal 2 clicks afterwards. She doesn't care if you hit or miss. I mean, sure, she'd probably rather you miss, because then she's not taking any damage and just heals. Yeah, like I hate that. you just don't want to make a ranged attack unless you know you're going to make that ranged attack, right? You got to succeed at it. Thankfully, it is a special power on damage, so it's totally outwittable. And she doesn't have anything like power cosmic, whatever, to prevent that. So I don't think she's as runaway meta per se, but there's enough in the game to sort of shut down people's ability to outwit. I think that defense power is ridiculous. So yeah, watch out for this figure.
Jay, your thoughts?
I feel like she matters more in sealed, and like I said before, Rock Age looks like a decent call-in. But other than that, not really making a splash as far as the normal constructed area goes.
Yeah, fair enough. She's good. She's probably a sealed play for sure, depending on what you get in your packs. And when you look at the next 2 previous, I'm not sure where the points are going in this set. And that I had that privilege of looking ahead a bit as we talked about our next figure. Now we're in a super rare slot. This is the Spider Queen, another Spider Island figure with the Battle World Spider Island keyword, along with animal, monster, past, and ruler keywords. Ignores elevated and hindering terrain for movement. First trait, Homo Arachnus Regina. Regina? What's her real name? Or I don't know. I'm hoping that's a Canadian reference. Regina. Mastermind Plasticity Poison. When Spider Queen KOs an opposing character after resolutions, heal her 2 clicks. Then she's got a second trait, Baroness of Battle World. Leadership, Perplex. Why is this becoming a thing all the time? When Spider Queen uses Perplex to target another character, you may instead modify a combat value, accept damage if the target shares a Battle World keyword, or -2 if it has a different Battle World keyword. Special movement on her, special power on her movement, bow before your queen. Mind control and running shot. When Spider Queen uses mind control and hits after resolutions, give each hit character an action token. Then her special defense power, Omega level threat, is stop, invincible. When this click is first revealed for the rest of the game, Spider Queen has colossal, power cosmic, and can't be healed past this click for 200 points. This is the Spider Queen. She's not indomitable, but like we said, she gets power cosmic later on around here. With a 19 defense. She has a special movement power on the first 2 clicks, 6 range with 2 targets. Jay, your thoughts on the Spider Queen?
She's very interesting. It's not easy to pin down exactly how good she'll be, because she's got some... I'm not going to say I have issues, but there's just certain things... Like, that's 5 traded powers. Like, that's a lot to keep track of, no matter how much you play this figure. Like, that's literally 5 standard powers, not even on the dial on top of everything else. Pulse Wave and Mastermind at the same time is not necessarily the best, unless you can just have the Mastermind fodder fall after. And her defenses are really good on the stop, because she'll have Uncounterable, Mastermind, and Invincible, but also the stats aren't spectacular, as well as the fact that I don't know what she's really calling in that makes the 200-point value matter. Like, there are some characters that are a little pricier, but like you're not necessarily calling in like 150-point Wolverine when you can call in 50-point Wolverine kind of thing. Like, I'm not sure she's quite relevant right now. Maybe if we get some more call-ins that are more near her point level, or maybe Rock Age, but Sealed probably very good because she's just so hard to kill. And she also like mind controls and gives tokens, so she's messing up your positioning, tokening you, and doing damage and perplex. Like she does a lot of good stuff. So like probably for constructed of some sort, definitely for Sealed, I think overall.
All right. Mike.
I do feel like at 200 points and looking at her values, that feels a little overcosted to ever potentially really make her meta. I mean, that's 2/3 of your team. However, I will point out that she's got some pretty gnarly keywords when you think about it, especially animal and monster. There's a lot of low point figures you could fill in on a team, both animal and monster. Tribbles is a great example. She could live with a tribble, and there's your mastermind fodder all the time. So that's kind of gross. That's 205 points or whatever to just. I've always got someone to mastermind to,
Kill my furry minion.
Yeah, exactly. And especially once you get to that stop click when you can't get rid of the mastermind anymore, you're just hopefully you got a whole world of tribbles around her. Like she just surrounds herself with a ring of tribbles and shoot out. Running shot, pulse wave, and then bring some tribbles up. I don't know. So I mean, because of that, I could see her being able to do some fun things in constructed, being a pain in the butt in that environment. I would most likely play her if I pulled her in Sealed. But again, we've only seen 3 figures from the set, and as always, it depends on what's in that other booster. But I don't know. She looks. I mean, a running shot pulse wave is never a bad idea.
No,
really. Let's be fair. It's never a bad idea.
Or running shot 11 attack 4 damage is not a bad idea either.
Right. So she's. I think she's kind of fun and interesting and cool and yeah. There's potential there. I think Rock Age she could be insane. Mm-hmm. I really do. I think there's actually a lot of stuff that in the golden that you can mix with her and just be kind of off the chart. So she's fun. She's interesting. We'll see what comes.
She's got a lot going on, as Jay said, and I think that makes her sealed strong. One thing to also I think is important is that she has perplex, regardless of whether or not she's targeting somebody with Battle World or with the Battle World. If she targets somebody who happens to be Battle World on the opposing team, she's really good. Or, if you happen to have a Spider Island character, I don't know what the point values look like on that, so it's not to really consider. She only gets a +1 on herself, of course. I like what she brings. I like that this is a 200-point figure. Like, I have to have this much reading on a figure that's this high in point value, because the figure that's this high in point value should be doing this much. And to kind of jump on what Mike was saying, animal is a good keyword with the tribbles. Monster is a good keyword with Groot. So you can get bystanders out of a lot of her keywords as it is. And with bystander creators,
two Groots.
Yeah. Two Groots, you got 4.
It's only 240 points right there.
Yeah, so 60 points to work with.
Yep.
And you have the option of Ruler on top of that because they share both of those.
So, and with Ruler, you could get Black Panther in there somewhere. So.
That's it, man. The 4 generic keywords they gave her, there's a lot of potential to build with that. And again, the reason why I said golden is because you drop an ATA on her like diplomatic immunity.
Diplomatic immunity.
Lethal weapon.
All right. That said, final preview. Black Panther with the Infinity Gauntlet, ladies and gentlemen. What the heck? All right. So Black Panther is either 250 or 150 points. And then if you pay 250, this red line is – sorry, if you pay 150, this red line is his KO line. So he's got – oh, geez, this is terrible resolution. Illuminati, Wakanda, Cosmic, and Ruler keywords. He's got no time for subtlety, which is super senses. Traded super senses. Just gonna put that out there. Black Panther has protected pulse wave. Okay. If Black Panther, and we, like I said, if he's 150 points, the red line is his KO line. Wielding the gauntlet is his other trait. Free, if Black Panther is on click 1 to 6, turn Black Panther's dial to another click from 1 to 6, noting what his current click is. If you do, at the end of your turn, return him to the noted click. So if you're on click 1 and you need the powers on click 4, okay, bad example, click 3, which is running shot pulse wave, go there, and then you're back to click 1 with your 12 movement hypersonic. Holy smokes. Oh. And then on the late dial, which is special powers, which he only has on the pass a red line dial, charge flurry on his movement, and his defense is stop, combat reflexes, and toughness. When this click is first revealed, after resolutions, generate 2 zombie warrior bystanders. Black Panther can't be healed. And the zombie warriors are right here with 5 movement with sidestep, autonomous with 10 attack and incapacitate, 15 defense with toughness, with battle fury on their 1 damage. Mike, what do you think? Okay, now this looks like a chase level figure before we start. So this is the higher end of the rarity spectrum here. Mike, what do you think of the Black Panther?
Okay, don't get me wrong, but why would you ever play him at 250 over 150 points?
Adrian?
Like, why would you? Like, why would you pay an extra 100 points for 3 more clicks when what he does at 150 is stupid? It's just like you said. Oh, all right, here I am. I'm on this click. I think I want to pulse wave everybody, so I'm just gonna go pulse wave. Oh, you know what? Actually, I should just punch somebody and run away. So I'll just stay on click 1. I'll go back to click 1. Right? You could hammer him for 5. You put him on his last click. He hasn't died yet, and he just says, "Okay, I'm going to switch to click 1 so I can hit you, run away," and then he switches back. Like, oh man, he's crazy. I mean, short dial, sure. So, you spend 150 points on him, and someone hits him with 1 big hit, takes him out. Yeah, and it's not like with a Unimind where you don't really die and you haven't scored the points. But I don't know, man. I would still love to build with this guy. Like, come on, that 150 point. I don't even see the point of those last 3 clicks. Why would I? Am I wrong? Maybe I'm crazy. I don't see the point. So, but wow, Black Panther, wow.
Oh, I forgot he's power cosmic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. He's power cosmic. He's already power cosmic. He's already power cosmic. Why would you play those other 3 clicks? Just leave him on this one where he jumps around to different things for 150 points. He's cosmic. I don't know who I'd play him with unseen. So this figure. What's up? This set crazy.
Jay, what do you think of Black Panther?
I actually don't like him at all at the 150. I think if he had Invincible, different story, but just it is way too easy to get him off that first click, I think. Like, even a Cyclops call-in has precision strikes. You're cutting through the impervious. 1 in 6 chances of super senses. I don't know. I like the extra 3 stop clicks, and then you get to make Pogs a bunch of times.
You only get to make it the first time it's revealed.
Yeah, that's it.
It says this click.
Okay.
He has it on 3 different clicks, not this power.
Oh, there you go. But still, I
don't think the Pogs are a make or break kind of thing.
No, I'm just thinking of a 300-point build where 250 points, you got 50 points left. So
I think if you want to play him, you probably wait for Shredders to retire. You give him, like, I guess the symbiote. Okay, this coming retirement, the symbiote retires. So you give him, like, the Loki staff for shape change. 250 points, fill it in with whatever, Groot or whatever. Make him ridiculously hard to kill? Because, like, that's traded super senses, and I don't know, but, like, I don't know about right this second, because, I don't know, I just feel like there's too much stuff in the game right now that can deal with him, but I think at 250, he could be a consideration later. Because, yeah, he can deal with pretty much any situation he wants. And, like, you can do some cool shenanigans to get the Pogs early. Like, you could, if you're on click 1 with a token, you could choose to go to click 6, choose to push, pop out the tokens out of nowhere, and do some cool shenanigans, like Blade's Inspiration from Wolverine Bounty, and then go back to click 1 at the end or whatever. But I just don't like the 150. I feel like he's way too easy to deal with. And the three stop clicks help with that a lot, I feel like, while also simultaneously giving you the pogs to serve as a little bit of tie-up and maybe not let him get completely shot to bits.
I just feel like with the other 150 points, there's so much stuff out there, especially cosmic stuff out there, that I could develop to protect him from those things. Because again, he's already got power cosmic, so you're not outwitting him. Sure, Psychic Blast, great, gets through Precision Strike, or sorry, Psychic Blast gets through the Impervious, but doesn't necessarily get through Super Senses. There's lots of stuff you can beef up with that. And again, I throw Unseen on the team. I'm only at 215, and I've got a guy jumping around, outwitting the things I'm afraid of. And he is protected Pulse Wave. So he doesn't care if you just come up and try Pulse Wave him. He's still going to have Super Senses and Impervious.
I would not be afraid of sitting across from this guy at 150 points in Constructed.
I just feel like I could better team around him at 150 than if at 250, because I've only left myself 50 points for everything else I need to put with him. That's it. That's 50 points for the call-ins, for support, for anything else. That's a lot of eggs in a basket, man.
I mean, he could also just not be competitive at either. He can just be a fun gauntlet figure. They don't all have to be super meta either. So it would be nice if he wasn't the most expensive figure ever also.
Yeah, well, we need a bigger point event so he and Lockjaw can play together.
I think him and Lockjaw could play together at 150.
Which is another figure, by the way. 75 points plus 200 for Spider Queen. There you go. There's 275 animal keyword. So ridiculous.
I'm trying to remember, Goblin King has Cosmic, right?
No, yes, I think he has Ruler.
He has Ruler.
He definitely has Monster.
His Monster has Ruler.
Dark Avengers, I think that's it. No Cosmic, though, that's for sure.
Yeah, no.
I mean, we got Lockjaw, which can do the same thing, which is heal him whenever he needs to heal him.
He's probably on a 17 once he takes that hit, so he's probably easy enough to heal up.
Yeah, and then you can take your free action at any point because it's not like a beginning of the turn to choose this thing. This is pick a power on steroids. And
it's not even pick a power, so you can't really do anything about it.
Well, it kind of is because like if you look, I feel like most of the pack is here.
Well, it's what he's saying is it's pick a power without the downside of picking a power and having to deal with something like Darwin because you're not picking a power, you're picking a click.
You're picking a combination of powers, and a lot of these powers, I mean, the dials are self-explanatory. I have a plasticity poison dial with close combat expert. That dial tells you what it's doing.
Yep.
I control Psychic Blast, Energy Shield, Shape Change. Guess what I'm doing with that click? It's not, and it's really hard to tie down because Click 6 exists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I just
KO a thing, and then you have phasing. You just go wherever.
Peace. Yeah, I think there's a lot to be done with this character. I'm a lot less down on him at 150 points than Jay is, that's for sure. But I'm not even up on him at 250 because what Mike was saying on this is you're spending an extra 100 points for 3 clicks that don't do anything and can't really be healed. So once you're there, you're stuck there. That's it. You're here. Live here. Deal with it. And then he's super manageable at range. Like you can, it takes two. Once you're on the first one is 1, 2, 3 attacks. He's good for, and that's 250 points. You're getting out action at 250 points on a figure in
yeah, because like Jay said, he's easy to get to that line. If he's easy to get to that line, well, he's even easier to take out when he hits that line if he's pretty much alone on your team.
I am high on him at 150 points, but I'm not like this guy replaces Unimind at 150 points at a cost high yet. But Unimind's going to retire at some point. I think people will start looking at this, but I also want to see. I'm going to take a wild guess and say this set's going to have chases that are Illuminati with the Infinity Gauntlet. Because it's what it feels like right now. Because there's that whole series where the Illuminati, all of them at some point had the Infinity Gauntlet. I think even Captain America was holding it.
I've never heard of that. I knew Iron Man had it separately from that.
It was when the new Avengers run was based around the Illuminati. there was a lot, like there was a whole thing with them having the Infinity Gauntlet to try to stop a bunch of crap. So
well, but this is when Black Panther got it in Secret Wars.
Yeah, I was going to
trying to
say.
take down Dr. Doom. This is more of a specific thing.
These are all. This could be the theme of it, as we had like in the last set. It was the theme of all these Eternity Avengers. Right?
Yeah, I could see it being the Illuminati. I don't necessarily think it'll be them all with the gauntlet, but hey, we don't know. We'll see.
I mean, it's a guess. It's a wild guess, and when it's based off of one chase, it's not like it's not as easy a guess as Cyclops with the Phoenix Force. Like, oh, it's gonna be Phoenix 5. That was a given, right? So, but like at this point, I'm very excited about the set. Higher rarity is looking a little beefy as far as what it can do, because we've seen a rare, a chase, and a super rare, and the rare, the super rare, and the chase are power level up there for sure. I don't know. This is based off of 3, maybe 4 figures of the set, and I'm excited. I'm super happy to see what's going on here. Weird to see Cosmic can maintain its stranglehold on the game, though. That's I feel like that's going to be a thing where just Cosmic continues to dominate. Yeah. I don't know. What's your take on it so far, Dwight?
Yeah, I'm excited for the set. As I mentioned before, I bought the series, all the Battle World trades, and I love them because they're kind of like what if storylines. And what I've seen so far makes me excited. It's more fun, interesting figures that do neat things I can try stuff out with, power combos, all that fun stuff. And sometimes it's kind of fun to see a really colorful dial. Makes you excited for possibilities, and he's got a really colorful dial.
Yeah. Jay, take on the set so far?
It's looking fun for sure. I don't know if anything makes a competitive splash yet, but it's also literally 3 figures in the Thanos duplicates or whatever. So
yeah,
it's looking like a good set. Not necessarily meta, but so far it's still good. I know there's Asgardian stuff coming, so that's also good.
There's like
on top of more Asgardian stuff in Earth X. So yeah,
it's like there's a whole core of guys named Thor.
It's a gear we haven't seen in a while.
Never mind. Never mind.
Nice try.
I want Angela Thor though, for sure.
I want Thor one day. That'd be pretty cool.
Angela Thor. I'm just because it looks like we don't have much to go on this week. Other than we did news, we can come up with a topic to kind of keep the discussion going. But it's Labor Day. I wouldn't mind getting a little extra sleep, so we can move to questions pretty quickly today. Got to get the kids to school in the morning for their first
suckers.
Back.
Yeah, my
and then I have that work thing to go to after anyway. So
yeah, not much is going on really, except for the U.S. Cup next weekend. But that's pretty much it.
I have to go and enjoy our socialized healthcare system as I sit at the fracture clinic to find out how my broken toe is doing.
How bad the toe is?
Yeah, we'll see.
The worst part is like even though it's good to go to the doctor, they're going to tell you, it's a broken toe. And they're going to, like, at best, got to bandage it up a little extra.
Well, no, this is a follow-up because we already know it's a broken toe. This is actually to go see the orthopedic surgeon, and they'll get a follow-up x-ray to see how well it's healed in the past 4 weeks and whether or not I should be actually wearing a boot and etc. Because here's the fun part, kids. I didn't do what is a normal break, which is where you break a bone straight across. In fact, I split it. Because it turns out, so this is my pinky toe and this is the next toe. I walked into something that did this right here and it split my pinky toe. So it's like this right now.
Oh.
I don't do things simple, man. This is how I do. So anyway,
you just break it like a normal psychopath.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I do this stuff to myself. My poor feet.
All right.
Anyway,
couple points I want to talk about before we move on to our questions. If you're live in the chat, capital letters question in front of your questions so that we can catch it. Here's the Facebook event. It's actually in the comments or in the description below. What the heck is happening there?
Oh dear,
that was weird. That's better. All right. Comic Book Addiction is hosting this year's ROC Canada Cup on September 23rd. This is running 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Jay, is 11 a.m. start time, or is that registration time?
Pretty sure we start at 11 because we expect a long day.
Oh, well, registration begins at 9 a.m. Well, I found that and put you on the thing. All right. That said, this is 300 points modern. This is for the ROC Canada Cup, as we said. So it's going to be Swiss rounds and then a cut to a top 8. This will not, for those of you who are familiar to Comic Book Addiction, this does not follow Comic Book Addiction's usual Highlander rule because this is a not casual event. This is a competitive event and therefore has to follow rules that are not store or house rules, as it were. There will be a couple side events, possibly. Anyway, that said, September 23rd, Comic Book Addiction at their new location, 701 Brock Street North, Unit 5, Whitby, Ontario. Lots of links in the description below to get the information you need. I'm not pointing at me. I'm pointing at that, the description. The description, you pervert. As well, if you want to support us directly, check us out at patreon.com/marriedwithclicks. And that helps us keep the show running and everything happy. Editing has been back in action as we took Amber's computer and made a newer, better computer.
Super mega computer.
Still need a better graphics card, but that's neither here nor there. I also need a solid state drive, neither here nor there. It's all a work in progress in the midst of upgrading my behemoth, as it were. I like to call it the Tarrasque. It started as a monster house. Anyway, that should give everybody enough time to think of a question. If you have a question, a big capital letters question in front of it if you're watching live in the chat. In the meantime, from the Facebook, we start with Mr. Christopher Smotherman. Oh, sorry, no, we start with Michael Hilton, who says, whatever happened to that Michael guy? Well, Mike and Jay have been showing up. Sorry.
I'm literally right here, guys. Literally right here.
And Michael Fedor wants to know, what do you mean I'm right here?
But no, I'm right here.
All right. But Christopher Smotherman does go on. He wants to first apologize for breaking the rules on the Mind of Madness. It's okay. It's just follow instructions. That's all, guys. We're HeroClix players. We all fail at following instructions. His question, though, which keyword got the biggest boost with our 2 new inspirations giving out charge and running shot? Did the X-Men keyword get the biggest boost so that the Blackbird doesn't just move, it attacks as well, even if it is just a wall? So, yeah, you can, like, running shot or something with it. Or is Cosmic getting a big boost because Infinity chases Eternity, Unimind, Groot, and the list goes on and on. Can you imagine a Star Fox getting charged for a turn with Mjolnir?
I mean, Dan just won with that essentially, but with a book of the Skullhammer instead. So, yeah, it seems okay.
Or Gotham City, Gotham City Underworld Batman Family, titled Batgirl charging twice. Batarangs bats can batarang and charge flurry blades. Or the monster theme. I'll leave that one to the Mind of Madness. Well, monster doesn't use ID cards, so my monster team doesn't use ID cards. Other monster builds could probably make effective use of that for sure. I'm going to give a lot of extra boosts on Cosmic with these movement attacks because there's a couple of the Cosmic characters that either have to choose movement attack as a pick power or just don't come with it but don't need it per se, and giving it to them just makes them really, really potent. So that's kind of my thought on it. Mike?
Yeah, it's a good question because it's tough. Like, ultimately, I tried to look at it as what keywords already sort of are able to cover that, which ones already sort of have a prevalence of running shot or charge. So Cosmic kind of already has figures that has that. Though the chases, man, come on. Who doesn't love a figure now who's running shot with a 12 attack shooting 8 or charging flurry with Mjolnir? Like, it's crazy. So, but I feel like those chases were already doing a lot of damage. We're already kicking a lot of butt. And again, with the Mjolnir. So it's yeah, that's another boost, but I don't know if it's as huge a boost as it is doing for Gotham and Monster. is a great example. Well, I think there's a lot of monster figures who don't have move and attack powers, so anything that helps one of these monsters now get out there and cause trouble. On top of that, I think Goblin King loves the idea. Here's one less thing that he has to worry about picking. You know, he can take advantage now, especially at 75-point. Goblin King thinks it's great. He wants that as much as possible. And there's a lot of stuff that just came out of the Batman set that are interesting, but they don't, again, have a move and attack power. Lots of sidestep out there, so this will help those sidestep characters become even more effective. So those, because, again, I feel like Cosmic and X-Men already sort of had move and attack covered very well. I'll say the other two, I think, got the biggest boost overall.
All right. Jay?
I'm pretty happy with Cosmic getting it between the Moondragon Chase, Starfox Chase. Just, yeah. I mean, and then they're already so cheap. Just the stupid amount of damage output you're getting after all that is just for the point. It's so effective. But also, like, giving Unimind running shot with the TK, whatever, because we have the Pulse Wave Thanos now. So you give him running shot, you give him Pulse Wave, and you give him Prob. He can do some stuff. Yeah. Because otherwise, I was going to say the Pulse Wave Thanos doesn't matter because you already don't start with running shot, get running shot, Pulse Wave as a combo later. But yeah, I think Cosmic overall.
I mean, Unimind definitely loves that Jean, the Rachel Gray card. Like, hello, let's call in Marvel Girl, and now I've got running shot, and Marvel Girl can TK me, so I can running shot Pulse Waves. Yeah,
let's get an actual Rachel to go with it, maybe.
So gross.
All right. Sorry. Next up, Michael Fedor, who actually has a question, the Alpha patron, the first patron. Hey, everyone. Threading this needle, and give me your opinion on which the Penguin is better in the Batman animated series set, please. Thanks. Okay, so if we're sticking to just the Penguins in the Batman animated series set, that's I think there's two Penguins, if I remember correctly?
Yeah, the Uncommon and the Prize.
The Uncommon and the Prize. I think they're both 50 points, aren't they?
I'm pretty sure you're correct.
Don't have HC. I'm just kind of opening up HC rooms.
Yeah, I'm doing the same thing.
I'm pretty sure you're right. They're both exactly 50.
And now my internet's being slow.
So you're Canadian.
They think I'm slow, but I'm really Canadian-y.
All right. I think
I'm here. I got him. I'm seconds away. Yeah, the Prize Penguin is 50 points. So they're both 50 points.
Yeah. But I think the Uncommon one has the Dude Maker, right?
Yeah. The Prize one makes Pogs. The other one makes the Suited Henchman.
When the Penguin is given a move action after resolutions may generate an Emperor Penguin bystander. The Emperor Penguin is the knockback one, though, right?
I think so.
Okay, but it's normal size. The big penguin.
That's a big penguin.
Doesn't show autonomous on the site. I don't have the.
But they don't have it added to units yet. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is as well. Geez, I'm gonna have to have a conversation with Nintendo about that one. Geez, they're both good in their own way. Objectively, because like they both have Mastermind, right? Because Penguin gets it from his trait, whereas the standard one gets it from being on dial. So they're both equally outwittable. Geez, this is actually a hard choice to say this one is the better one. I think the Uncommon one sits a little better for me, but it would depend on the Suited Henchman rules, I think. That's my opinion on the matter. Mike, what do you think?
I'm actually leaning towards the Prize one only because of the generating the Penguins as Mastermind fodder is not going to cost me points the same way generating Suited Henchmen as Mastermind fodder would cost me points, if that makes sense. You understand what I mean? On top of that, because of how much the prize penguin benefits as well if you've got the starter map and you pay the 5 points for it. Because then all of a sudden, when he's on that Iceberg Lounge map, there's so many penguins.
So many pogs in general.
So many.
It should just be the Emperor penguins coming from that penguin, and the rest should be seals.
Yeah, it's seals and penguins and puffins and lions and tigers and bears. Oh my!
The penguin. Here we were playing HeroClix and started playing Pokemon instead.
Yeah. So now you put that penguin plus put the penguin that actually makes penguins on there. Oh my god! And then
got all three.
And then put the Joker's Wild, a Fast Forces penguin on there, so you can keep moving the loyalty token onto these little nothing penguins. So all of a sudden they're like running shot. 12 attack, pulse wave for 5. Like, it's ridiculous. And they're penguins. And you're just like, what's happening? So, yeah, I lean towards the prize one.
But why not both? He says.
Why not all of them? Yeah.
Okay.
Probably main set because he has the energy shield on top of the mastermind, so you can't just like one out with totally nuke him as much. Energy explosion's good. Like, they're so similarly different. Like, I think the uncommon just slightly edges the other one.
And by the way, for 170 points, you could play all 4 penguins plus the penguin.
Wait, and we're already on the way to a Gotham City Underworld themed team. Gee. I wonder if we have any other figures that we could fill those points with and map like every time.
Yeah, Kite Man. Right?
Hell yeah.
Someone's got to carry all these penguins around.
What do I do with all these penguins? Kite Man. Hell yeah.
Multiple Kite Mans. The rest of the team is Kite Mans and penguins.
Kite Man, I need you to carry these penguins. Kite Man, yes. I need you to carry these seals. What the hell?
Penguin. Glorious.
Oh, I love this game. I love this game and the fact that playing 4 penguins on my team is viable.
Imagine what that would be like in real life, though. If all of a sudden you saw all these dudes flying in on hang gliders with puffins and seals and penguins.
Dropping marine life on you.
Just dropping puffins and seals and penguins on you.
And all you hear in the
like
distance,
carpet bombing you with penguins.
And this is happening, and all in the background you hear. I can see their noses in the distance.
I miss you, Burgess Meredith.
Oh, I love this game. I love this game, guys. Okay, there's not very many big questions in the chat, but I do want to address a couple things. First, Yukimaro points out that yes, it was Captain America who got the Infinity Gauntlet to stop the Earth from crashing together, but the Infinity Gauntlet fizzled and the stones broke. Doesn't mean you can't game design it to do it temporarily. 3 times, or it's like 6 times per game, Captain America can pick a power. There, I designed it. There, it happened. Give him an Infinity Gauntlet. You know what? If give him an Infinity Gauntlet stone in each like thing, and each stone gives you a power in each slot or something like that, that's going overboard with complexity. Just pick a power, lose a stone. Pick a power, lose a stone. And I think we got it. We got it right there. Happy Little Hero Clicks is looking for the booster with 4 Thor core figures. Jay, what do you think of the idea of a pack with 4 Thor cores?
Seems pretty good to me. Although, I guess, because it's weird, because like I thought the Avengers 1 million BC were going to be the chases, and that there's an Odin there. So if you could get like a God pack with all the Thor core and Odin, that would have been pretty cool.
4 Thor core, eh?
Yeah. But also, the super rare prime in this set is looking to be the Destroyer with Thor's hammer. So there could just be enough rare figures where a God pack is just like 5 Asgardian super rares.
Oh my god. God pack.
Oh.
Literal God pack, guys.
Oh.
Literal God pack.
You mean a God Doom
all
pack?
The figures are gods, including, yes, the God Emperor Doom in that pack. Wait, hold on. I need a new language to say Dr. Dooman.
For Doom's sake.
How do you say doctor in Latvian? Not Latvarian, Latvian. Anyway, while I'm figuring that out, Just kind of going through and seeing, do you think we'll get another Hydra cap? If he has 9 snake heads, I think we do. Mike, do you think we'll see another Hydra?
I think we will because I think Marvel's made it very clear that that character is going to be coming back again in the books. They didn't kill him off. They kept him in prison and he's supposed to be on par with Cap. It's Cap, only Hydra. So he'll come back. Hail Hydra. I mean...
also, Dr. Doom in Latvian is Arsts Lictinus. Hold on, I'm going to have to get the proper pronunciation.
Whoa.
I screwed that up. Jay, go.
I don't know what you just said. That was someone's mom in Latvian. But, whoa.
Arst Lictinus. All right.
I am going to...
That sounded like ours.
It is. It's A-R.
Yeah. Oh, no.
S-T-S.
It sure sounded like ours.
Okay.
Look, go to Google Translate. Hit the little sound button and just listen to the word, man. I am not far off.
I'm listening to your words. They sound like ours.
My words. This is the Google words because I'm just repeating after. This language exercise is going to get me in so much trouble. Jay?
I feel like if we get another Hydra cap, it'll be a while because the one we have now is a chase. And we got Dupe as a con, and we got him as a rare, but not until the other one retired, right? So probably a while off, if anything.
Fair enough. Oh boy. All right. On that note, I do want to thank everybody for joining me on the show. Mr. Mike, Mr. Jay, appreciate your support on the show through this wonderful Labor Day and taking a little bit of time on your holiday. I want to thank everybody who's watching live in the chat. It's been a fun time chit-chatting with you guys. It's been a bit of a short episode this week, mostly because, like I said, we're getting back into the swing of things over here with the Labor Day being the holiday today. That means school starts tomorrow, and I got to get my kids back in the swing of school and me going to work like a normal person. But without further ado, I want to thank our sponsors over at MajesticCCG.com. Check them out, MajesticCCG.com/ApexInsiders. $3 a month gets you brain dumps from some of the greatest in the game. Former world champions, former national champions, whack jobs who have YouTube channels, guys who join that whack job on YouTube's channels and have really good ideas. Share them in articles on the site. And it ends up being worth the $3 a month for entry. As well, on a semi-regular basis, the non-Apex Insiders portion of the site will have updates from other HeroClix tournaments as the days go by. Sometimes you'll catch ROC events or Nationals events results from those articles, so keep your eyes open on that. As well, we want to thank our direct supporters at patreon.com/marriedwithclicks. Any dollar valuation gets you access to our patron Discord, as well as our patron hangout, which is happening this Sunday, September 9th at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And what we do is we sit there on Google Hangouts, myself and Amber, and we answer any questions that our patrons might have, be it with regards to the making of the channel, with regards to the game of HeroClix itself, or, if you actually have any weird personal questions, we'll try to answer those as awkwardly as possible. I'm often under the influence of adult beverages during the show and makes it a lot of fun as I ramble and go on tangents, which I am off to do. So with that said, guys, we are edging ever so closely to the ROC Canada Cup. It's been a great long weekend. I hope you use some of that long weekend to practice, because practice will make your team better. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.